We
It's
were
time. I didn't realize. Yeah.
we were wrapping it up in the green room and having some discussion. How are you?
Right. You know what? I'm doing great, actually. It's really nice to just relax and be.
Yes.
I guess that's where I am right now. Just relaxing and yeah.
Yes.
How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm, and when I say I'm trying to relax, I'm trying to get my head into that space of just relaxing and did and I did because I like I just told you earlier that I just got done a book, an audio book that kind of took me somewhere else, and it was a great storyline and all of that. So it
Yeah.
was a way to just decompress from everything because um, I've been struggling with keeping my mind in a good space. So if I had to be
Mm,
honest with that, I would be very honest and say that not putting myself into a place of worry. Um, because I've been checking my I's and T's, crossing my T's in an over extreme, and I know that that's there's a level of that is it's hyper vigilant and it's coming from a place of anxiety, and so it's like I gotta change this up because um at the end of the day um we can only do what we can do, and
yeah.
listen, the rest is up to the universe, right?
It is.
So
And
that has been my struggle. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it is. But today's good.
yeah. Yeah, I think the part of being an empath is also learning to understand where your responsibility ends, because there's a limit to um,
Yes,
how much you can handle as a human,
yes,
and not. So, absolutely, you can feel all you want, and it's all um, important. But at the end of the day, also understanding how much you can really contribute to the solution rather than
exactly.
becoming part of the problem. you know?
I say this, when they say let go, let God, I say, you know what, let go, not the universe, and don't take it
Absolutely.
back. So I've been really in that. I, I've been in that mode of where I've been telling myself, give it back, give it back, because you've already put out there what it is that universe already
Yeah.
knows what you need, and by you continuing to worry or give attention to it in terms of my thoughts, I keep taking it back. And I realize that, because that's a pattern that I've been breaking in my life or have thought I broke, but it just seems to be one that
It's
I'm.
understandable. It's understandable. It's not
Hello, Sabrina.
normal. Hey, welcome, Sabrina. How are you? Good morning, right? Because you're in the
Yeah.
States. But I think it's understandable to feel sad because it's not normal if you don't if you watch something like this, what's going on in the world. It is totally normal to feel sad. So absolutely, but also limiting how much exposure you're on. If you're all constantly on social media, I think like
Yeah.
you know,
You really gotta,
um,
or I've because I'm on social media and because I get a lot of my ideas through scrolling, seeing
of
what's really
course,
going on out there. Of course, a lot of my ideas come from my own, it starts with me, but when I go out there and I realize how much my thoughts are a part of the collective, then
right,
that's how I come up with it. But really needing to um, guard the amount of that I've had to do that because between what
right,
is truly going on, in terms of we've got a lot of breakdown happening right now. There's no other way to put it. We've got breakdown
Right.
happening all over, and there is an energy that is existing out there. So I do have to be very cognizant of my energy because of being a attractor of the energy around me. I am. I'm like you're like an open magnet for it. Yeah, protect it or guard it or ground it. More ground my energy is more of
Right.
what's necessary. So yeah, and I'm sure I'm
Absolutely.
not the only one. I'm sure, and I
Yeah.
listen. Big ups to the person who has mastered this. I've not mastered it, and I'll be the very first one to say that um, this is my healing journey, and sometimes I got it, and sometimes I don't. That's just the way that it goes, or it doesn't feel like
That's
I
just
have. And lately,
right.
I've been somewheres out there, so that's just the way that it is.
Yeah. And it's perfectly normal. N- You know. Sabrina says you two look lovely. Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you.
Nothing special other than a new hairdo. I thought it was time to just try something else. And I'm going to speak this because for all of you that show up and you do see me in different hairdos. Sometimes you see me in a head wrap. Sometimes you see me short. And today, you know what? You see me with a completely, not that it's a new do because you have saw me in this one, but it's a new one today. And I do wear wigs because I do suffer from hair loss. And it's a significant enough hair loss that I'm not comfortable wearing my own hair. So, you know, I for this live, I do wear the wig. I don't wear wigs all the time, but for the lives, I will be. So, and the reason for is hair loss. And I know I'm not the only one out there that's experiencing that either. So that's the
Yes.
reason I want to bring some notation to that. That for every
Yeah.
you see wearing a wig, some of us are wearing a wig because we actually really do have hair issues and hair loss issues. And I'm one of those women. So I want to talk about that as much as I can and, you know,
Normalize it. Right.
and normalize it in some kind of way to let people know that
Yeah.
there's a way to navigate this one because I have
Yeah.
been through my process of dealing with it. But here we are today, and we're going to be unpacking another great topic. I think, it can go in so many ways, but that is the topic of sisterhood. And I am here with I'm going to say my sister in spirit. I'm here with my sister in
Absolutely.
spirit and sisters in spirit because you know what? Some of you that are in this chat right now, definitely my sisters in spirit. And
Absolutely.
we are here to have this discussion because, we are also living in a time when there is a raise in the feminine spirit and consciousness. And we see that I mean, good God, you look at social media today and you have found many women like us, using our voices to either birth some sort of change or get some sort of message. And then, of course, you'll have the whole other aspect of it that some of them are on there just for entertainment. But I definitely think that there has been a surge in the amount of women coming to bring about change. And they're doing that via their message. And you see a different part of the feminine spirit definitely taking place all over. And so, in recognizing that, um, I also recognize that this platform has opened me up to a form of sisterhood in a way that, um, I have not looked at in quite some time. And that's working with other individuals like yourself and the bond that has been formed with that and others too that I've had on my show. So it's formed like a sisterhood and a connection and helped us to appreciate that, even though we may share differences, we share very many similarities. And how can we bring those differences and similarities together to make for a greater today and a greater tomorrow? So I think that each time we show up, we're figuring that one out too.
Right. No,
Hello,
absolutely. I think
uh,
that
telephone. Hello, telephone.
welcome.
We say hello to you. Well,
Um, um, I think that I have observed that too, and which is why I feel like what you see on social media sometimes not may not be the bigger picture. You know, we just the algorithm is built to show you exactly what you hyper focus on. So I feel that I've always felt that this, like sometimes we lose hope in humanity thinking, oh, like there's so much sadness and like everything is wrong in the world because that's what the media focuses on. And, but I think there is goodness in the world and people have started to realize what's real and what's important. And especially women, I feel like that's what you talked about. Um, I have also observed that women have started to really question and go deeper and do the deeper work, which is why I see them more in leadership roles, which is more about coming out.
yes. Yes.
During both the good and bad times. There's power in women supporting each other, I think, which is very different from men. There's just very different energies and the beauty of it. So, yeah, let's talk
And
about it.
yeah, let's talk about it because we are living in unprecedented times like never before. We're also living in a time of great change. Yes, there's
Yes.
a lot of things that are breaking down, and change is happening. And with that breakdown, there is also bigger truths that are being revealed. And we need to learn how to navigate that. We need to learn
Right.
how to set in some of those truths. We need to learn how to navigate it. And one of the things that I think about in particular is that when it comes to just for instance, what has happened throughout history in reference to um, the experience of the organic of the land person in terms of colonization, what happened there.
Hmm.
Now,
Hmm.
that created fractures
Right.
we are just beginning to talk about during the same time of when we talk about sisterhood and the coming together. So it's a time that we're also living in where it's time to maybe to start looking into some of that and examining some of those conversations and so that we have a better understanding on what it is we're really looking at. And for the individual that says, you know what, that didn't have anything to do with me. And I didn't, um, I personally don't carry those views, whatever. The damage has been passed down through generation to generation in terms of even how we deal and how we look at one another. So when we talk about sisterhood, I think sisterhood is also a part of looking at some of those conversations. And I'm talking about we do. There's aspects of all of that too that needs to be looked at and healed. And whether we'll be able, I don't expect to do that all today, but when I think of sisterhood
Right.
and I think about this conversation, it's one of the aspects of that I personally think that is going to be important because when I think of everything that's going on in the world today, And when people see me and you together, because there's a lot going on right now, I like to think that I hope that what most people see is something healthy, something real, and something very human going on here. And when we look at the world, and I just want to say that when we look at Canada, what's going on here in terms of massive immigration, and a lot of it is, and I'm just going to be real, um, it's coming from your country, and there's a lot of views that a lot of people are having right now that uh, they're not necessarily such the best views, and some of it we got to break down some of all of it, is what I'm saying, and realize what's by design, what's not by design. Center ourselves up. What is
Yeah.
your experience? Is what I'm trying to say. What the fuck is your experience? And I say it like that because where what I see being promoted, what I see being what I call uh, there's a pre-planning to create an environment of hostility. And if we don't start having real conversations like this, it's going to be very, very easy to get caught up into the bullshit. And then we're going to find ourselves re-looping, or you may find yourself re-looping, because I won't be re-looping, but you will find yourself re-looping back into the same bullshit that we are just trying to come out of. Because there's nothing new underneath the sun. So once again, I believe there's an importance to having these conversations. And I hope I wasn't all over the map, but I just want to get in another point that's
Yes.
of importance.
Yeah. Before that, I just want to welcome some people in the
Yeah.
chat. Welcome, Fatima. How are you?
Hello, Fatima.
Blessings to you too. Welcome,
Hello.
Mom. Okay. All right. Um, I feel that I okay. Sisterhood is a big wound. I felt growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to the point that I was sexually abused just to get that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
was starving of healthy relationships
Mm-hmm.
with women. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it has always baffled me how much we are doctrined almost to hate each other, compare um against each other, beauty standards, education. Like there's just so many factors that have been instilled. Um, like I, it's just insane. Like when you are actually, I don't want to go everywhere all because it's just huge, right? The way we are just pitted against each other.
It's
Um,
there's a programming
there's
of
a programming. Yeah.
competition automatically out the gate, just via the beauty standards, just via and we will gauge ourselves off of those standards if you are not self-aware.
Right.
And most people
Exactly.
are not
And
aware.
yeah, and the thing is that the programming is so heavily ingrained that even when I did not agree, I still found myself unconsciously getting jealous, getting insecure around certain women until and it took me a while, and even now I see those feelings, and I think they're natural. Let me just say that it's absolutely normal to feel insecure on certain women, but to understand that they're just reflecting the potential in you, right?
Mm,
Um, the thing is that what happens is because we lack, um, and I also want people to participate in the chat. What does sisterhood mean to you? And what has been your experience? Please. But I feel like I just where was I? Where was I?
Just
Uh,
you were expressing about, like, what just the fact of the examples of in
oh
which
yeah.
seeing a sister,
Yeah,
and then
exactly. And I yeah, and I think that the problem is that when we feel that and then we're instilled um that, oh, it's not normal to feel a certain way. I think it's
right,
normal to have all of these feelings. I just want to emphasize on that. It's normal to feel a certain way, which is why we need sisterhood so that we can evolve, right? Because we need better women around us. We need women who challenge us. We need women who make us see better, the world better, right? Um, so I think it's just that's why sisterhood. It's amazing to.
I got a question. Absolutely, I think it is powerful. Now, give me an example of um un on what unhealthy sisterhood looks like. Give me an example on what unhealthy sisterhood looks like to you.
It's like hiding parts of ourselves just from other women so that you can avoid judgment or rejection. Because it's like, I look just like you so that you don't reject me.
Right, right.
We do that, right? I was like, I hated my hair growing up because I had the really voluminous hair, and here women were like straightening their hair and all of that, and I was like, why don't I have those hair? And now I just love my hair. But you see, at that time, just to fit in, um
Hmm.
you start you start hiding, because I was also bullied. So that's the thing. And there's a I don't know, I think I did a shitty job
No,
explaining.
no, I think that is
I
because listen, I think of automatically, I am not one that migrates to groups. I'm not I'm not a click person. So when I think sisterhood, um, and I think about negative, or it coming from an unhealthy place, um, anything of where it makes you perform, anything
right,
is not honoring your full own autonomy, anywhere that you have to be
right,
group think as opposed to individual, when your personal thoughts are not appreciated or looked over, or you have to have this collective thought that it doesn't provide you room for individuality. I have a problem with that type of sisterhood, and and committing to that. And I think that there's a form of unhealthiness that
right.
comes with that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is like you said, it's like it's really about when you question your worth in any way. I think that's a big sign that you're not in the right place. When you have to fit in to sit on the table, like that's not my table. Okay.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, absolutely. I think that yeah, because it is I also want to make it personal, because I think sometimes it's hard to understand these things. It's like the way women would, and it's interesting because it's almost like unconsciously we need each other, right? Because it's our need. It's a very human need to want to be with other women,
yes,
right?
yes.
Um, but we do it in a very like unconscious way. We'll try to like I'm talking about Indian culture here because like that's where I'm right now. So I guess I'm reflecting on it. We would dress up better, so we, people to seek attention. But like, what are you exactly doing? Is that you really want to hang out with these women, but
Hmm.
we just don't know how to, without comparison, without performing, without, oh, here's my cat. Um, without, she wants to be part of this, I guess.
Yes,
She knows the importance of sisterhood, right?
right. That's
Um,
right. So she's being counted in.
so she's like, I want to be part of this.
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like I have learned this from her too. She is a cat. I know cats are known for being aloof,
Hmm.
but when she needs me, she needs me. All right.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
doesn't care how it looks like.
Yes.
And I think that's what it is. Like, why do we have shame to, it is shame at the end of the day to, um, first of all, acknowledge and then act on it that we do need each other. And what prevents us from seeing each other? And, like, you see what I mean? Like, we
Okay. So
do it,
let me
and
ask you
it's,
this.
yeah.
What is the healthy version of sisterhood to you, and what that looks like?
Hmm. I think at the end of the day, I feel like you can have different opinions, but still be respectful towards each other. I think the space for having diverse opinions while being respectful, that's what it looks like to me.
Hmm.
Where you're not shamed for, you know what I mean? Just where you can be yourself at the end of the day, um, while being respectful to each other. Because I think what happens is that whole, what is that called? Cat fight, whatever that's called. Women fights are called. Why do we have to do that? It's like you think a certain way, it's fine. We can still, yeah, that's what
And
I
I think
feel.
that it's an important, when you say that, I say, you know what? To me, when I think of the healthy version of that, I think I see you. I see you as an individual. I
Right,
see where we are different. I see, I hear what you are saying to me. Do you see what I'm saying? That I'm not
right.
expecting you to go along to get along. I'm not going to assume, but I see you. And if I see you, there's a great likelihood I'm going to be able to understand you better. That also means that you know what there are so
Yeah,
times when you know what you won't have to open up your mouth because I see you and I have a deeper level of understanding. I'm going to be able
right.
also to aid you better
Yeah.
from a
And
sisterhood.
that's, yeah, you nailed it. I think that's the thing. We don't understand that, we live in an era where it's like, oh yeah, you have different opinions. Okay. But in your head, you're like, I don't want to hang out with them.
Mhm.
So it's like what you said is like willing to understand and see where that person is coming from. I think to really feel seen is a major thing that we lack, um, these days, to be able to hold space, um, for others without, judgment. And I think there is a certain sacredness in it that only women can provide. Because I do have men in my life which can do that, but it's just different. It's just
But
really
you know
different
what
when
I
women do
think
that.
when I think of when I look at some of the powerful women in my life, and and I think, what can I learn from this one? What can I learn from this one?
Learn from this.
Some of the most
Exactly.
powerful, not going into it like, um, okay, I gotta be on guard. I gotta be on guard because you
Oh,
know
yes.
when this one's gonna stab me in my back. I don't know when this one is going
Yeah.
to, you know. So when
Yeah.
I speak from that woman who is coming from a mature place, who does have a control of their emotions, mastered their emotions, not having their emotions master them. So you have to be coming from that gate of um, worrying about being stabbed in the back, because that whole competition thing that has been set up amongst us as women via um, media, programming, um, the whole programming of society, which has created that competition. Um, you know, uh,
I think that the problem is like I don't know, like I still struggle with it. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. I have actually really felt proud being a tomboy all my life until recently that I've started to experiment with my feminine energy. Why? Because there was no woman to support like it's super masculine society that we have created, hyper masculine, where women are actually rewarded to act like men. Women are rewarded to, oh look, she's so bold, and she, you know what I mean, like we actually emphasize more on those masculine traits. Think the way we dress up, everything, it's
mm,
so logical, and there's no like I have been wearing Indian dresses here, and it's so like flowy and like you really feel like in
yeah,
your feminine energy, like it's loose and there's certain grace to it
yeah,
that tells me like how much we have. It's different. I don't even know how to explain. Like masculine energy is quick, to the point, logical, which is needed when you need it. Feminine energy is more about, oh this, oh that. Like it's chaos, it's emotions, it's feelings and
mm,
colors and patterns and s- fragrances and senses, all the touch, smell, all of that.
express,
Um
yeah.
and 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 I think to be a better sister, I also feel that at a personal level, um I think that to practice all of these um trait or energies, I guess, is important, because it really it's challenging for me, I'm telling you, like even now I'm like all over the place, I'm sure, because
Mm,
it's not, it doesn't come naturally to me. But
mm-mm.
I have always felt like there's something inherently wrong in how women act with each other. I've always questioned that. So
Well, I'll
that's my
tell
brain
you, our
has
first
something.
relationship with a woman is our mother's. And
Right.
that experience definitely sets a foundation on how we experience the other experiences of women in our life.
Right.
Until you start to individualize, you start to and it's a very, I think it's, unless you are born in an environment that nurtures that way of thinking, it's not something that comes along. You don't start that inward
Yeah.
trip until about 30, when you start to
Like,
individualize.
yeah, even the religions are so masculine.
Yeah.
It's so weird because like the culture that I grew up in is like Sikh religion, which again, I think it's men made it a religion. Okay, I'll just say that. I said it, but
Yeah.
it's very feminine. Like the words of the gurus are so feminine. Like I don't even think we have scratched the surface.
Listen, religion
Okay.
is responsible. I'm going to say this now. Listen, I don't care who's religious and who's not. Do your research. And when you do a
Doing our
deeper
research.
level, I can speak this, is responsible for destroying the feminine spirit. They
It
actually get
is.
rid of it. Listen, this shit goes deep. It goes
It
deep.
does.
And
And
me going back to Rome. So, you know, some of their garb. Let me just take it there. But this is not to go off on a religious chant, but when we talk about the feminine spirit and we talk about sisterhood,
yes,
this is something that has been by design destroyed. Anyways,
That is so
talking
true
to
because
yourself,
it had a major, yeah, it had a
right,
major part in me feeling a certain way. And like,
right,
um anyways,
I,
Sabrina has had something to say.
yeah. My experience with Sabrina says, my experience with sisterhood has not always been good. Girlfriends I thought I knew for years and called them best friends were not. In my spiritual
Mhm.
journey, now I am okay with not having those. Absolutely. I can speak the same thing.
Powerful. Same.
Some of my most
And
powerful
that's
experiences came from my so called sister friends.
right.
Some of my biggest betrayals came from my so called sister friends.
Isn't that funny? Like, and also like, I think I'll go back to that point to feel seen and heard.
Mm,
I think like, to me that is the gist of how it feels like, because at the end of the day you feel at home with the other person, right?
mm,
Same here. The only friends I have is family, and not all of them either.
mhm, mhm.
So, but I also feel that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the spirit always helps us meet people. Sometimes we're not ready for them, but I always think that certain people come in your life to help you with certain parts that you're struggling with. Um,
Absolutely.
of course, you meet different types of people at different stages of your life based on where you are. But I feel like they do come up. I don't know. It always happened with me. And I was always told to fit in, to fit in. I was like, no. And I am not a people pleaser. Even when I was influenced by those attributes, I still met incredible people.
Mm,
And that's how I know like spirit will always make sure that you are you have what you need for that time, right? Um, so don't just look around. I think I just want to emphasize that. Look around.
you know,
There will always be,
I thought about this,
yeah.
that when I say about, some of my most powerful experiences of learning, I learned them through my sister friends, through women.
Mm,
I couldn't have learned those lessons, which really, most of those lessons was also
yeah,
reflecting something inside of me as a woman. You
right.
get saying either something's being mirrored to you or there's
Mm,
something that you are missing. And it took
that's true.
those uh, experiences with those particular women in order for me to get it. So, I thank them for that. And I hope I was a learning experience for them too. Um,
I do think that absolutely. You always say that line like certain people are here for a season or something like that. You say, and it is true.
Absolutely.
Our lifetime. It is true, and I think the more we um understand this concept, the easier it gets. Because the problem is that we hold on to people who are only there for a certain period of time in your life, and of
Mhm.
course you still feel hurt, but like that's how it is, and it's okay. I think, um, but it does take
And you
certain
can't
level
make
of,
people commit to forever, forever. Because
and
what does
that's the thing.
forever, forever look like?
I think, I think that's like um I would say a not much evolved version of
Right,
um mature, like how do you say it? Emotionally, you're not that you're still evolving. I think that's what it is, and
right.
even I'm not there, but it's a thing like to, and it's okay. I feel like you do feel grief over relationships that you have in your memories, but not there currently.
I
So
think
it's okay.
relationships are one of the best ways that we are showing the cycle of life. We just have a hard time with letting go
Yeah.
because of programming. We have a hard time with
Sorry.
expiration dates because of our programming. But the natural flow of nature is come
Right.
and go, come
Right.
and go. That is the natural. Now, that depends on the current, that depends on the waters, all of those things. But my whole point being
Is
is that there is a time when, and when you start to resist the current, everything becomes so much more difficult. The relationship, becomes um, troubled, or we become frustrated. When there's that level of frustration that starts to go on, you're blocking, I feel, the current of something that is meant to flow. And then sometimes that means acknowledging that, you know, when it comes to the larger extreme, is that it's time to let it go. Or,
Yeah, but I think that's also a very masculine way of dealing with things. We feel like, oh, like that's just how it is. But I think that's another reason why we need sisterhood is through those times where we are uncertain, we don't know what the heck is going on, and we are in between. We need people to ground us, and we
right,
can't do it alone.
right,
So that's another reason. Like women in the past used to gather together um, at certain periods of time or during certain parts of the month um, where they would just sit together and just talk and just you know I think it's important we don't. It's more in
we were
now
just
and like very like cordial and
earlier, we were talking about our friendship, and the thing that we both appreciate is sometimes the conversations that we're able to have that just bounce life off, or just bounce your day off. And that,
yeah,
lately we haven't been able to do that the same way. And I was saying, damn, I really miss that. There is that need and that importance, because you know what? You see me, I see you. There's no performance, and you don't get that
right.
out of everybody. So, you know,
And
uh,
that's
when you can have that it's beautiful.
right. That's true. That's true. Yeah, and
Not to pump, and not that I don't have that with other people. I just want to say that. I'm just saying that you are one of those individuals in my life that, you know what, I do not take it for granted. I do see the importance of it, because sometimes, you have to have somebody reflect some shit back to you that, wow, I didn't necessarily see that, but they have to have the
right,
ability to be able to give it back to you.
right,
Like,
and I think that's why I said like look around. There are always people. I think we as a society, and I look it, and I'm reflecting on myself here. We are very impatient now. Um, we I was reading this post that said that annoyance is the price we pay for community. Now
mm,
that says it all. And that does not mean to disrespect. We're not talking about that here, okay? Of course, you don't just allow anybody in your life to do anything, but it's like there's certain things, certain quirks people have, and it's okay to ignore them and see people for who they are. And you can get annoyed, and it's okay. But that's exactly um, that's going back to the point that we always, I think, Spirit makes sure that we have people around us that can help us, but sometimes we're just not open for it.
well, that's the thing right there. Like, and sometimes there's um, I do believe that it is about a vibration, and that there's different levels to the vibration. And if you are an attractor, and I believe that I'm an attractor, we've all been attractors,
Right,
what it is that we're experiencing and the people that we're experiencing. So you attract those people to you. So depending on your vibration, it's going to depend on what you get, depending on your level
right,
of understanding, your level of healing. And I'm saying that for me, I've had all versions I like the healthier version. And the healthier
Right.
version doesn't come with such restraints. It does not come with control.
No.
It definitely comes with me honoring my own autonomy and not feeling threatened or the other person feeling threatened by that. That to me is real true sisterhood. And I might not need to
Right.
understand everything, but God, girl, I got you.
Right.
I got you.
Right. And that's the thing. There's certain things that we might not like in the other person, but at the end of the day, if they can connect to us in a deeper way and the way, like you said, where we don't feel judged. Oh, I can hear my echo now.
No, you know what? It might be your earphones. No, you're not echoing anymore. But you know what? Sometimes maybe someone tried to call in or something like that, and it bumped them. I don't know. But just for a split second, but you're good,
Okay.
baby girl. You're good.
Okay.
You
Because
look
your
beautiful today. Can I
volume.
just tell you that? I'm
Thank
sitting. I
you.
keep looking at you, and I'm thinking, I love your dress. Let's stand up, please. Just let me see. I know I hate to say that, but
Well,
come on, you can see it. What?
it's okay. All right. Let me see. But there's a filter. So here you go.
Oh, baby girl, I love your dress. So pretty. Look
Well, I'm
pretty.
having a blast here because my mom just got me like 5 dresses day before. So I'm having really a lot of fun
It's
just
so
dressing up.
you. Can I just tell you that? Yours, listen, you have that. Listen, you remind me sometimes of a flower child. You do. You have a flower child.
Oh,
That's not a bad thing. That's a beautiful thing.
it's not.
Beautiful
It
dress.
is. It is. I'm just having fun. Um, just having fun, experiencing all of this. I think it's important to receive too. That's again very feminine trait. We're just trained to give and give, and like
Yeah,
that's how we feel
yeah,
accomplished. But
yes.
thank you, Sabrina. Thank you. Um, but yeah, thank you.
It is a
It's fun.
beautiful dress. Yes.
Yeah. So absolutely. I actually had certain things. Let me see. Oh, um, I don't know if you want to touch on wounds anymore or we could.
Listen, I want to go take it wherever you want to take it. Like I didn't have anything set in course. I listen. I'm
Okay.
always amazed at how these go. So let's go there.
Okay. Um, I do want to ask even people in the chat, or if you watch the replay, feel free to comment. Where do you notice comparison showing up um, with other women? Like,
Mhm.
because it's more of a reflective question.
You know, oh, I see comparisons all the time, and that comparison is going to be something depending on like you know what where you live. I'm just going to say like where I live. I am
Right.
probably not your average standard woman. Okay, your average standard woman. You know, and I mean that in the situation. And this is not throwing no shade either. I'm just going to show you the
Right.
variable difference. Most women get in a relationship, have some kids, settle down, and continue. You know, they work their job and continue on to do their life. I've done the complete opposite to that. And so, you know what? I'm not getting, and they will compare themselves to others that are around them. And I'm that woman that dares not, I don't dare to be different. I just am. I got that fortitude in me that I'm not I don't fit into the same pattern. And I don't want to be in a
Mm,
pattern. And I'm not afraid to be different. I'm not afraid to be on my own. And I'm not afraid to accept the challenges that come with that. Which means when you say that oftentimes you're doing an awful lot on your own. But I much like the
right.
peace. I much love my solitude. And um that can listen, that is just not your norm. Do you see? And I you were asking me about comparison. Those that conform to the other do a hell of a lot of comparing. amongst themselves and
Right.
keep themselves in a performance role. I just choose not to perform. And I think that, you know what? Yeah, that is how I have personally observed a lot of the people that I've experienced in my
Yeah.
hometown.
Mm,
Doesn't say
that
that
is
that's exactly
powerful.
what it is, but I'm telling you, I see a whole lot of goddamn performance. Yes. And do I see a lot of you out there that would like to be like me? Yes. It ain't nothing to it, baby, but to do it. Don't hate me. You can be me. I'm
Right.
just saying. But you
That
also
is powerful.
have the courage and the fortitude to be able to actually maybe do it on your own. I'm just saying.
Right. I think that's the thing. Mm. It is powerful. I feel
Mhm,
like I compare when I would rather say like if someone reflects me something in me that I did not know,
mhm.
that might be more the word might be more of an inspiring rather than comparison. And my dad is listening. He doesn't know
Hello,
about me too.
Dad. Well, no, this is good because
Well,
this
he's
is good
done a
education.
hello girl.
This is good
What is
education.
that?
This is a good education for your dad too. Listen, we didn't even know
I
that.
know, but well, he doesn't know I have a son. And he, because if he did, then 500 more people would know, which I don't want to. Yeah,
Come
he's a
on,
social
Debbie.
person.
Inquiring minds want to know.
No, no, thank you.
Okay.
Um, but he's sweet. He's really sweet. Anyways, um, okay, so oh, another really because like I can feel that emotion because I feel like women
Mhm.
in my family have gone through this so much
Mm.
um that I feel like a charge a little bit when I say it, like a little pain when I say it, but I'm gonna say it. How have you learned to compete for love, like I mentioned before, attention or worth? And who taught you that was necessary? Like learning to compete for love, attention, or worth.
That's a good question. It's a good question because growing up in the large family like I did, and then being next to
Right.
the bottom, there was I was always
Mm.
struggling for attention. And you say
Who taught you
who taught me?
that was necessary?
I don't know who taught me. I just know that you know what for every action there's a reaction, and I'm gonna say that you know what my
Right.
reaction to a lack of it made me actually go into a place of performance, and that
Right.
performance looked like this. You know what? I always settled for less. I never really spoke what it was that I wanted. I went along to get
Mm,
along often, putting myself on the back burner, and that reflected itself throughout my life. It really reflected itself, I didn't realize in relationships of me self-sacrificing all the time. Somebody else
mhm,
feelings or needs above my own, making sure that somebody else was okay more than myself in hopes
mm,
in hopes that it would return, and
right.
oftentimes didn't return. And oftentimes I found
Don't
myself
return.
in places of not only did I compromise myself and abandon myself, but I also found myself in a place of where you know what I was picking up my pieces, and there was nobody else picking up the pieces with me. So when you finally grip that one, you start honoring yourself, honoring your feelings. You start saying no. Let's just start with when you start learning how to say no. That can create such a disruptor. The no is the disruptor because everyone's been comfortable with your role that you've been playing. And I just told you the many roles that I played, of self-sacrificing. And sad to say, I
Right.
didn't get some of these major lessons. Can I just say this? Until I was, uh, an older adult. Because, folks, I may not look like it, but you know, I'm on that. I'm on that silver lining.
Yesterday, yesterday, my mom's friend, she was visiting, and she was like, and she's really young, okay, like she's younger kids. She's like, I feel old. I'm like, you know what? I have a couple of friends who are like 70, whatever, 60, late 60s, and they're rolling like. I'm like, come on, guys, you need to
Ah,
step up.
that's right.
You
I'm not rolling over. Listen, I'm rolling as long as I can roll. You get that? And I'm walking and running as long as I can walk and run.
exactly. That's the spirit. Um, okay. I think that at the end of the day, I feel like every person you meet is, and if you feel triggered in any way, is mirroring some part of you that you haven't acknowledged, or there's a wound, and that needs attention, right? So,
Can I give some? I want to give a shout out because um, to a new content creator. No, but she's relatively new. I just came across her. Um, uh, Letitia is her first name. Anyway, so her name of her podcast is Survival Mode. Uh, ugh, ugh, Survival Mode something. My whole point thing is she has a lot of women guests on there. Not to say she hasn't had male guests. I saw a couple men, but powerful women guests having a conversation like the one that we are having. And all I see all over that podcast. Listen, big ups to her. And I tell you, I am going to
it's
put her in
amazing.
the link because I want to blow this girl up. Something amazing is happening from regular women who have done the work. And I see a
Right.
sister saying, where did she get all these women? Where did she get all these beautiful? Because their stories powerful, similar, in women taking their power back and creating a sisterhood. That's the reason why I'm going to give her some big ups too. But and I will put her information in because she's something to be looking for. I'll put it to you that way. She's going to be something to
Really.
be. Yeah,
I
definitely.
haven't I
How are
haven't checked her
the
out.
cold
I will.
cold chills right now? Ooh, I got really cold chills. And maybe one
That
day
is
let's
amazing.
have me on your podcast. Yes, I would like that. Listen, I ain't got no shame. If the door is open, you open up the door for yourself. You'll learn that. Listen, live once.
Absolutely. 100%.
Hmm. I love our conversations,
I
man.
think that is awesome. See, I'm so awkward that way because, like I said, it's so new to me. Even like, because I love it, but I have no uh physical experience of being of sisterhood. Rather, I would
Right,
say
right,
zero, like
right,
negative rather.
right, right, right.
So, but you see what I mean? Like experience trumps everything. Experience is what heals you, not talk. So,
Absolutely,
um,
absolutely.
I know experience. 100%.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Another question. What is the um what is the good woman or perfect sister archetype looks like in your head? Because at the end of the day, and how what is the gap between being authentic and, like, this archetypes that we are taught of being
Oh, to me, I love a woman that knows who she is, not afraid to stand alone.
right.
Um, and when I say she, especially the woman that has been brought here to bring change. Um,
See, that's like I can slay all of that, but I don't know how to be with other women. Like, I'm a lone wolf.
but,
Like,
I
you
think,
know me.
but here's what I'm going to tell you. I think that that's something that you've told yourself because you
Right.
and I get on, and I do think that uh, we carry a very similar view, and that is, I'm going to just tell you right now, I don't do mundane, I don't do performance. I do like someone that is able to challenge me with it, and that's not a because I don't want to follow her. I don't nobody wants a follower.
Right.
I want someone that can hold their own within the
Right.
conversation. Um, and it's not about where you're how do you deal with your differences. So I think that there's a level of maturity that comes with that, a level of emotional maturity, as well as having some mental and experience underneath your uh, self. That I think that to me, you bringing that into sisterhood, to me reflects strong sisterhood. Um,
Mm.
Sisterhood, a performance that comes from
Right.
the performance, trust and believe, it dissolves. It is not
You
stable.
know,
And all of the
yeah.
that's happening of the opposite, backstabbing, cutthroating. Um,
I think, like, I feel like there's I can feel this wound right now active of wanting to stay alone because you don't want to get feel betrayed or someone stabbed you in the back. It's so interesting. I don't even know if I'm encapsulate or rather um saying it right. Wanting to fit in so people don't attack you. Do you feel that? I feel it's hard.
I'll tell you, when I first
Like,
listen,
that is, yeah.
yeah, watching that,
Mm.
no, boys. I'll get the last time I can give you a real example of where I experienced a form of, guess you would call it sisterhood, is a workshop that I went to,
Mm.
which was it was, I guess, geared around oh, what do they call it? Oh, I want to say the native experience.
Oh, I think you uploaded some videos about it.
Yes, yes,
Like,
yes.
natives, when
And
they were talking about a tribe or something.
yes,
Yeah.
and all I can say is that, what I saw was, I felt an unhealthy version of so-called sisterhood. It was performance, it was controlled, um,
Mm.
and that turned me off. I thought that this is not even healthy. Anyways, I hope that you were
Right.
successful in your workshop from where you were at, but you know what? From where I was standing and from what I was seeing, um, I thought that that was a form of toxic collaboration,
Yeah. And I think that's what really
sisterhood.
takes me off. Yeah, it really takes me off because my whole life I've seen this. Like, people just fit in because that's where they feel safe. That's what we call a community. I
Yes,
think the danger of it is you just lose because we're so unique, all of us. We are just very unique souls with our very unique experiences. So saying that everyone is experiencing the same thing, to me, that's just blasphemy, and really, because we're saying that the spirit talks to each of through each of us in a unique way. We kind of cancel all of that just to fit in. You see what I mean?
And I was
And
saying,
imagine, no, I just want to, because I guess I'm processing. And it's like, and when you do that, imagine the amount of energy it takes to block that. And that's what comes out as jealousy and anger and passive anger and all of that, because you're blocking that energy that's supposed to flow through you out into the world, and you're just fitting in. You see what I mean? Like, it's no
and
wonder people are so
how,
angry.
how often do we hold space for one another as women, and use grace when dealing with one another, which means you got to tap into your, listen, we don't always function on the levels by which, we would like. And sometimes, there is a
Right.
breakdown in our communications. How do we deal with that, though? Because there's a difference between
Mm.
sisterhood and the toxic. Because the toxic is it kind of looks like this. They're going to be very two-faced about it. They're going to keep account of and record instead of saying, like, what, listen, my
Oh,
daughter is
yes.
something, you know. Today, what we saw in front of us, you're gonna look in viewer from the lens not of being critical, but a lens of more of understanding, because you're looking beyond that moment and you're understanding that so and so, they got a lot going on. So you know what? I'm going to give them some grace in this moment. And maybe we can go
That's
back and
true.
talk about this later on, but I'm not going to judge them, nor I'm not going to kick them when they're down in this moment. I'm not going to be the one either to
That's
stab them.
true.
Because how many times do we see that happening amongst us as women? And we, instead of becoming any of the above that I just mentioned, you become a bitch. You become
Right.
the slayer, within the situation. I can't say that I behave like that because I'm going to tell you no, I don't. And in fact, I've experienced the opposite. So in what I'm speaking, ugh, yeah. So that's why I'm giving that example. I've experienced that. Um,
How do you,
I'm so quick to say,
how do
I'm
you,
so quick to say that I wasn't the bitch on the other end. I shouldn't say that because you know what? I'm sitting here and I can't remember all of my life. So maybe forgive me. Yeah, I'm sitting up here thinking about that. I'm sure there was a time when I was the bitch in the crowd. I learned from
I
my,
have, I have been one too.
yeah.
So
You're thinking, Ella, what are you talking about? Please, you're almost 60. I'm sure you were the bitch in the crowd a time or two. You know?
but like, I think for me it's interesting, like how to, rather than being judgmental, how do we give grace to the person it's really hard to give grace to?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. And I think the people who need the grace the most are the ones that trigger us the most, or annoy us the most, rather. Oh.
Well, sometimes you know what giving grace means. You know what? Listen. That doesn't negate the fact that Um, I'm talking about someone that's not fucking up all the time. Do you understand when I say that?
Oh, yes. Thank
I'm talking
God.
about
Because I was
giving
like,
grace to
it's,
the person that you
yeah.
know. I'm not talking about the person of which you know what? Okay, you are really irritating me. So as opposed to me, going down to your level and losing myself all over you, I'm gonna walk away. Doesn't mean I'm gonna go out there and you know what, talk you down, start a whole campaign. It just means I'm just going to remove myself from this.
Right.
And you know what?
I
I'm going to
think
give you grace that you know what? There's room for growth for both of us.
yes. I think that it's sometimes it's really important to
Hmm.
um
Hmm. Because
especially
I have
when you
found
have
myself walking away from relationships. And yes, I have. And I tell you, and anybody that knows me, I'm going to be very straight. You've come to the realization that Hilda Curry has a very serious cutoff game. I just don't fuck around anymore in my life. I don't. I don't. Life is too short. And I don't have to have it out with you. I don't have to do any of that. I'm going to just tell you if it affects my peace, I got no problem protecting my peace first. And if walking away seems like the sound solution, I can do that in zero point 0.2 seconds. I don't, it's not a great big debate with me anymore because, it's about my
yeah.
energy, it's about my peace. And most people that I have walked away from, you've been aware. You've been not only have you been aware, but you know what you caught all the signs, and I've been very open and forthright on how it is I feel about such things. So you know, if I've walked away from you and you're still carrying some scar of disappointment, you wasn't listening.
Mhm.
You weren't present
Right.
in any of the conversations. And I don't know why I'm saying that because I think that you know what, I all of a sudden I could feel this whole background of haters. Keep hating, please. Keep moving too. Ah, get out of my energy. Yeah, I meant every freaking word of that.
Mm,
Because
I
you
think
know, all
accountability
haters.
is right. What's that?
You always get haters.
Oh, it's normal. I think if you're doing something, you should have haters. Otherwise, you're not doing anything important.
Right,
Okay, you're
right.
not- you're being maintained. All right.
Yeah, mhm.
What's the word? What's the word? I don't know. I forgot. Basic. You're being basic. Right? That's the word. Basic.
That's right.
Um, I think at the end of the day, accountability is paramount. Right? You can't just sisterhood does not mean that you run all over each other. No, no, it doesn't. Um, accountability is the key. I think that's the problem. We we think that that's not what sisterhood is. Sisterhood is being really honest and upfront about everything. It feels like home. You don't pretend at home, do you?
That's
No.
right. That's right.
Um, so yeah, it requires you to be honest and accountable, 100%. So, um, beautiful.
And that's what keeps it healthy because then there's nothing building up in the in between. And at the end of the day,
Yes.
so and so's
Yeah.
going to be straight. I know that they're not going to blow smoke
Right.
up my ass because I don't want
I
smoke
think
up my ass.
I think the problem is that, and I learned it the hard way too. Like I'm sure the others, and we should probably wrap it up because
Yes, we should.
we're over an hour. Um, I think I had to learn it the hard way, or I guess that's how we learn. Is that you give grace to people that actually are ready for grace. You don't give grace to people that are not ready for it
That's right.
either. So to have the discernment to walk away if
That's
needed
right.
and to be there if needed and to
Right.
understand the difference.
Mhm.
Because sisterhood or community does not mean that you lose yourself, like Hilda was saying. No, no,
That's
you
right.
don't. Um,
You should be
so
finding yourself
that's
into it, continuing to find yourself in the sisterhood, not losing
yeah, because
it.
because and in the beginning you mentioned that too, like you're spending time on social media. It's the
Mhm.
same thing to understand when it's not helping.
That's right.
It's really it's not that hard. Like the basics are the same everywhere because it's you being with the other person is you giving your time to that
Yes.
being, right? Like
Yeah.
you give your time to social media and to understand when it's not helping, and
Hmm.
that to be accountable for that, to see what you're doing and if it's helping or not, where you getting at.
Right.
um Accountability, 100%.
Absolutely.
Um, I think that we I think that's powerful. Like that is powerful that when we meet people, because that's who we are. We meet from that place. I think that is powerful because you're not pretending, right? Oh,
Listen, hello to you too, Elevated Healthy. And
welcome.
hey, what's up? We're having another powerful conversation, dropping by to say hello. Well, hello to you too. And we've
Welcome.
got Mina, who has said, yeah, Hilda, I'm blessed to have beautiful daughter Revni. Yes, you are. We are blessed to have her too. So you have to share her, Mina. Well, you already do. Okay. Yes. And thank you for stopping at work right now. So
Okay.
can't answer your response. Okay, that's all right. That's all right. Watch the playback, baby. It's a good one. And thanks for showing up.
Okay. Oh, okay. And we can wrap up real quick. But like what helps, and people in the chat, please um get involved if you feel called to. What helps you trust other women again? I guess we touched on it. We did.
Oh, yeah. Because I
What
think that
helps you trust other women
when you
again?
when you learn through your experience, when you
Right.
learn, if you've learned through your experience, you're not going to stay a victim. And you know that, you know
That's
what, you are
true.
responsible as well for what took place. Because you know what, whether you know what, you're responsible, because you were unaware, but now that you're aware, you realize that there's areas of in whatever took place of where you were responsible
Right.
to and had the
Right.
power. So what makes you trust again is knowing that, you know what, not everyone is on the same level, because I think it's just like you said, that person will remain in us. We are connected and wired in such a way to be connected with women. So it's not like you're going to cut that off. And when that happens,
Right.
I think that it's because something you haven't done the healing. If that's there's that aspect that needs to be healed, because I
That's
think
true.
going back is that you know that not every woman is the same. And in fact, we carry a different experience with each. And you know that um, um, we have depths and levels. And you can see that through some of the powerful relationships that you've had with different women, that it has come with a depth and a level. And that that depth that you might have with one is not necessarily be with the other. But you see where I'm going with this, or what I'm trying to say. That that's what keeps you going. That and
That's
it's an
true.
experience, and it's an experience, you know, especially when you
Right.
stop at lifetime. It's all got to be a lifetime. I'm having an encounter with this beautiful spirit.
Right.
Sometimes it's beautiful,
Oh,
sometimes it's not. It's a red passion kind of Friday. Yes, it is a red passion kind of Friday. You got me showing up in the red. Do you have on red elevated? I didn't even plan this. I put on my Farmer Clem shirt. Yes, I'm feeling like Farmer Clem today, but that's all right. I am.
you're funny.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a oh, welcome lessons of the hermit.
Here.
They have a message. There's a
We are
comment.
afraid of pain. Therefore, we decide not to trust in order to not feel the pain. That's what prevents people from the healing. From feel the pain. You must work through your fear. Yes, yes. And then you realize, oh my God, that was one experience. You know how many times we stop ourselves from the experience of something or someone or something, just because of fear.
I'm I'm being called out. It's a thing. It's a thing. No matter how smart you are, is be healed through experience and to put in the effort to feel different, to to try again. It's kind of again, yeah, yeah. It's a thing. I see you both with a nice aesthetic. Oh yeah, thank thanks.
Yeah.
This is sunrise.
We got our
Oh,
sunlight.
is this sunrise?
Hmm.
I guess it is.
That is your
I
sunrise.
want sun.
With a
I guess
sunset.
it's.
I got that wrong again. I got that wrong the first time you showed us. Nope.
I don't know. I think it might be sunset. I'm not sure. I don't know. Anyways, anyone else have any comments or anything? We'll wrap this up because we are
Yeah.
almost 1.5 hour in. Um, but feel free to um add anything if we missed. We would love to hear it. If you're watching the replay, feel free to comment, please. But
And
yeah,
folks know too that next week we're going to be live on your channel. Um,
right.
and we do have the topic, but we're not quite. But I think yeah, we do have a topic, but don't ask me what that topic is right now, Revenue. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to lie, folk. I don't remember the topic. We did have a topic, but I don't remember the topic,
We
so I'm
were
not.
thinking, well, we were thinking to discuss about this book, maybe
Oh yes, yes, yes. Maybe we'll say that we are thinking about discussing the book, The Alchemist. And
by Paulo Coelho.
yes, yes.
That's how it's pronounced. Yeah, that one. If you have read it, let us know. Have Has anyone read it, or read it by next Friday? I guess I'll have to read it
I'm
again.
going to get the book so that everybody knows what we're talking about. Yes, yes, yes.
Right.
Good book.
So, oh,
If you're lucky, I may even share my experience on how I came about this book. Okay, because it's a little bit of a personal one, and I'm telling some of my juice, but I don't know. I might share that story. But The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, good book.
yeah, the orange. Yeah, it's a really simple read.
It
But
is.
it has a lot in there. Yeah, that we can
It's
talk about. So
lessons that we can glean from
it
in
is.
life. A lot of life's lessons about one man's journey and how we
Yeah,
are.
let's talk about this. What's
Hmm?
that?
A one man's journey and how he's connected to so many people, and it depends on your thinking and all of that, on how you predict the experience.
Right.
Anyways,
So
we wrapping it up.
we're wrapping it up.
Well, once again, thank you, and thank
Thank
everyone
you.
that showed up. I love to see it when you all show up in the chat, and nice to see return people like you,
Yes.
um, uh, elevated, healthy, uh, all of you.
Lessons of the Hermit too. I've
Yeah,
seen them
that's
before.
meant
It's
because you
nice
are
to see.
also active when you do show up. So that's what makes it powerful. In Fatima, and I listen everybody because I don't want to start naming off
Everybody.
names are just right there. You know
Yes.
who you are to me, and you also know that you hold a whole special place in my heart, and I mean that. And thank you for showing up. And as we leave here today, I'm going to leave you with good vibrations, love and healing, and as you go through this Friday, making a fabulous one, because we've got a good start, we've had good conversation, and check us out next week, same time, but we'll be over at Winds of Reflection, Revneek's channel, in with another live discussion. That's right. The Ultimates is what we're going to be discussing. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe if you feel it, the vibe. And go
Look
over on,
at you. Ooh.
Neat's channel and do the same.
Ooh.
It's going to, we want to grow this. We want to grow it, and we want to continue to find the people that need this conversation and that it resonates with. So, that's how we're going to do this. Each one teach one, and each one share.
Sure.
So, in the meantime, I'm going to say bye and make
Goodbye, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.